Thanks, Nate. Also in Harlem, Democratic presidential candidate Pete Buttigieg met with the Reverend Al Sharpton to step up his outreach to Black Americans. The South Bend, Indiana mayor had lunch at Sylvia's restaurant, a landmark of Black American culture. Hours before Buttigieg's meeting with Sharpton, he was accused of sexual assault by 21-year-old Hunter Kelly.
You know who Hunter Kelly is?
No.
Do you have anything to say about allegations of sexual assault?
I'm sure it's not the first time somebody's going to make something up about me. It's not going to throw us. Politics can be ugly sometimes, but you have to face that when you're in presidential politics.
Kelly came forward in a blog post on Medium and on a Twitter account he created this month. Kelly provides no details about the alleged assault, but says he will share his full story in the days and weeks to come. All right, I've got some questions for our A-plus panel. Let's bring them in. Allison Young, Republican strategist, and Peter Brown, Democratic councilman in Linden, New Jersey. Peter, I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
Let's first start with Al Sharpton. This seems to be a meeting with Al Sharpton in our area as if he represents the Black community.
Yes.
Agree or disagree?
Listen, Al Sharpton does not represent the whole Black community. I mean, if you look at how the Black community has evolved over the last couple of years, I mean, our values and traditions and what we think have differ.
Mayor Buttigieg is saying to Al Sharpton effectively, and this is the campaign that talked about this, that they want to address homophobia and the Black community. Now, and I've talked to you about this before. In 2008, 94% of the Black vote went to Obama. 70% went to the proposition defining marriage between a man and a woman. The Black community tends to be very, very conservative. He's labeling that as homophobia. Fair label or not?
I think it's completely unfair. I mean, if you look at it, I look at it from a culture standpoint. He's trying to apply how people who were brought up where marriage is defined between a man and a woman. If you don't believe his belief, that is you're being homophobic. I completely disagree.
So to that point, Allison, I mean, other than the identity politics run amok and the disparaging of religion in that term, which I agree is doing it, that aside, nobody escapes Me Too. You got now an accusation coming out. How do you think the mayor handles that? And is it credible? I mean, there was less in the accusations against Brett Kavanaugh than this.
Right, and I love that you brought up the Kavanaugh hearing, because that was all about, the victim always has to be believed, that person always has to be believed. So now we're talking about Democrats tearing each other apart during the primary. And so we've got a Democratic candidate with a sexual harassment claim, a young man who is accusing a male candidate. How are the Democrats going to take this? Is there going to be more hypocrisy here, and are they going to start defending? Is the party going to start defending Mayor Pete? Or are they going to now drag this young man in front of Congress and say, let's talk to me about your allegations?
Okay, thanks, guys.